welcome to another show. Welcome to Building Experiences with Mark. I'm Mark Schultz, and we've got a great session today, but it's just me. What I thought I'd do is show you a demonstration of how you could use a new capability in Experience Manager regarding content fragments and mix it up with a bit of Adobe App Builder. When you put the two together, you can really help solve a problem around previewing content. So let's get straight into it, have a look at this demo. But if you're new to the channel, now's a great time to hit subscribe. And if you like the content, give me a like as well. All right, so let's get into it. Let's play the demo. All right, so often we have lots of structured content in content fragments that we want to see how it looks across different channels and different experiences. You can see here I've got digital signage, I've got a little widget in an app, various banners, etc. And the good news is that with the latest release of Experience Manager as a cloud service, there was one line that really caught my eye, and that is really looking at the ability to preview content fragments. And so you'll see here, content fragments can now be published to the preview service, allowing users to preview the final experience, as well as a new capability to allow them to actually click a preview and see that live. So what am I talking about here? Well, first of all, we'll share this documentation. You can read through and really how to set this up, and I'll come back to this. But let's have a look at how this works. So what I'm showing you here is the new content fragment admin, where you can see all of the tens, hundreds of thousands of content fragments, go and filter them, and very quickly get down into the content fragments that you might be looking for. In this case, I have a set of offers, and I've coded them based on the promotion code that I might be tracking elsewhere. So when I go ahead and open one of these and bring it up, this is the newer content fragment editing experience. And the nice thing is here that we've got this new preview button that allows me to go from the edit view, and instead of seeing like a JSON representation, which is my markup, which a developer cares about, I can actually open this up in a preview experience. Now, how it previews is up to you. What I'm sharing here is an example application that I built using the framework for allowing you to preview it. So it could look like this, and I'll share this project, you can use it, but it could look like a sample page of your web experience, deep link into a particular part of an app, or lots of different other examples. You've got that freedom. So really, this button becomes super powerful in the fact that you can go ahead and arm it with all this goodness to allow you to preview. So what I did in this example is I thought about a day in the life of someone creating offers. And I've got my generic one-size-fits-all example here. But of course, in any customer experience, we need to think about the customer, the consumer here. So first of all, language becomes important. And you can see on the side here that I've got not only an English version, but a Japanese and Korean version that have been created. So I can very quickly just go and open that up and see the Japanese version. I've had machine translation applied to this automatically. So if anyone's watching and you speak Japanese, be good to know if the results are great. I can't tell. But the idea is I've got one content fragment with different languages being managed in one place. And then if I go back, not only do I have the language copies, but I can also start to think about variations for my customers. And so are they long-term customers? Are they students? Are they high value? Are they family starters? Are they investors? And this is where I can start to create different variations of this content as well. So here I am in the authoring mode, where you can see I've got the default version, I've got the students, etc. And I can start to link and look through that content. But if we look at this from a not from a content editing perspective, but back in the preview experience, I can do the same thing here. So imagine now that you've got a way that you can start to share how this content looks and feels before you actually place it in the end experience. You can share this with anyone who has got permission. They can come and have a look at it. And I can start to flick back and forth between different variations. So some variations could be the same. Some you might actually personalize. So here I've got students, so I've got, imagery that's slightly different. The text is saying it's super simple. If I go back to my default, we've made it simple. So you know how to talk to your customers the best, and you can start to rearrange those examples, but we can also mix and match. So I can say, okay, show me the Japanese version of the offer, but for students. And so the text is changed, and the imagery is changed, and that's all managed in Experience Manager as part of the content fragment. So really this application just allows you to visualize how you can start to see those different experiences. And I've put a few links to allow you to get in there and do a few things. So first of all, the home button allows you to go back to that admin and load up these fragments and pick the one you want. And then of course you can link back and click on edit to actually load that as well. All right, so if you want to think about building a view similar to this, it could be for offers, it could be for any type of content. How this works is that you need to configure the preview button. And the way that is worked out is that here in the Experience Manager, where I define my content fragment models, and if you're not sure what a content fragment model is, I'll show you quickly here. It's where I define the headings, the details. These are all the different items that I can use, and I can choose the properties, the labels, the different things that are configurable there. But when I close this, if I hop into the parameters here, I've got this default preview URL pattern. And so in this case, I've loaded my app that you can see here, and I'm passing two parameters. One is the content fragment path, and there's a little widget to actually show you the pathing here, which looks like that. And then I'm also sharing the variation. And so the way that works is when you click on that button in the URL that we're sharing, back here you can see in the path now, it's content dam, secure bank offers, and then 999, and get the main variation. If I go ahead and click here, you can see it's changing that path to students. So whether you use my code that I built or you build your own example, all you really have to do is take that URL parameter and then call that experience in your code. Now, how did I do it? Well, I built the experience in App Builder, and I'll actually share the link for this project, so you're welcome to go and take a copy of it and start building something out. But the way it works, again, I happen to build this app in React. I'm grabbing the URL parameter here, I'm grabbing the path and the variation. And then further down here, apart from the default example, I'm calling AEM through a persisted query. It's just basically a cache version of a GraphQL request. And I'm basically asking for that content with a cache buster. And then I've now persisted that. And then I'm going in and actually pulling the content out of it. So the request return looks something like this. This is just the JSON notation. And then the final thing I do is I've got a series of layouts. I've got one for each of the different offers on the page. So it allows me to very quickly go in and change that. So if I show you one of these as an example, it's just some simple markup with me dropping in the various parameters, and so easy to maintain. And of course you can go and style that. Again, this is not part of the product. This is how I extended it with an App Builder application. And if you haven't seen App Builder before, if I just go back to the Experience Cloud, I've authenticated as a user, and this is where I can go into Analytics and Experience Manager, etc. But now I can go into the App Builder catalog. And when I hop into the catalog, I can see the apps that are deployed. And one of them is the app that I just showed you, this Content Fragment preview. Again, I've put some checks in there. So if I don't see that URL parameter, I just get placeholder good to go. And then of course I can link to home, find it, hit the preview, and load up this app that way. So that is the new preview tool that you can access within the Content Fragment editor. This is the new editor on top of Experience Manager as a cloud service. All right, so I hope you like that. I hope it's giving you a few ideas of what you can do, first of all, by making the workflow better around previewing content, but just in general, how you can extend Experience Manager into these new workflows by building these little apps or micro apps using App Builder. Total dev time, from start to finish, part-time, took me less than a week, right? It's very simple to start building these out. And what was not apparent from the demonstration is that app is deployed in a secure environment. I have to authenticate to access. I can only access the content I've got permission to. So it's really great for those enterprise use cases. Now, if you're thinking, well, do I have access to App Builder? In a lot of cases, it's actually available at no extra charge based on your existing licensing. So talk to your Adobe team if you are unsure about that. But again, love to see what you are building with App Builder, and really excited to see the future workflows that come to life. So that's it, short and sweet for today, and look forward to seeing you in a future session. Thanks for joining me. See you later.